Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is Romer Reacts. This is a series where on my Patreon, patrons submit videos for me to watch and react to. And today, we're starting off with a video from Silver Waters, and it is a Honkai Star Rail video, and it is animated short, A Flash. Honkai Star Rail is a game that I'm definitely planning on playing in the future. In fact, it's just when we things, calm down a bit, because I feel like we already do so much on the channel. But it is a game that I'm definitely planning on playing at some point. It's on the Let's Play list. It's on the Let's Play list of games. But this should be an interesting video because obviously I don't know anything about Honkai Star Rail beyond what you guys show me. So let's check this out. I do know that it is set more in the future, that it is I guess has a more futuristic vibe than Genshin has, I suppose, is probably the best way to put it. What even is this? Look at this. It reminds me of, the animation style for, games that I love, like Trails of Cold Steel and things like that. Kind of more of, classic anime vibe, I guess, you know?
Heed this oath. As clouds that cover the heavens.
Of course, it's a Hoyo game, so good voice acting. Oh, wow.
Yes, master.
Oh, adorable.
As clouds that cover the heavens.
Will the knights protect the Ciencio?
So obviously there was some dissension here between these two characters. Oh, sick, yeah.
Hold firm. A cloud knight must never let slip their will.
Putting these in between each part as well. The flashbacks. I'm a sucker for a master to enemy story, Revenge of the Sith style. Always am. It's almost more heartbreaking than family stories. Oh, sick! What is that? What is that?
He doesn't recognize us.
Oh.
So it is with the Mara strike.
See, this thing has a red eye. She has a red eye too.
To become stricken with Mara is to be a long-life
Oh.
species. If I too become stricken in times hereafter, you must not hold back.
Yes, master.
And as well, I think, some people might be is there a risk of spoilers when it comes to Honkai Star Rail stuff? The thing is, we will not be playing it for months upon months. It'll be months before we get to play it because we're still denting Genshin. We haven't even dented Genshin yet. We're still playing so many other games as well. By the time we get around to Honkai Star Rail, I guarantee you that there won't be this thing where I'm oh, I remember that one thing we watched 6 months ago. You know what I mean? It won't be like that. It won't be like that. So I think that's why people are very okay with sending these in. Because it's really just a really cool animated short without full context of a story, you know?
No sense of time, humanity waiting, a serious case. You should leave, Jingyuan.
I'm just glad that we have another game like this with that's gonna have impeccable character designs, impeccable story. People swear by Honkai Star Rail. Every time I talk to people about this game, they talk about it like it's the second coming of Shao. Great animation with the emotions here. And the crossfade, not the crossfade, the fade as well. Jesus. Music's really great too.
Your gift of instruction. I will pay in this strike.
Man, that's difficult. To see your master's face in a calming state right before everything ends. Yeah, I'm super excited to get into this game. I'm super excited.
996, 9,996.
No, don't do this now.
9,998.
Oh, the cycle continues.
10,000.
A Cloud Knight must never let slip their weapon, nor let slacken their form.
It's interesting how like beautiful this looks, right? Like again, there's so much budget that goes into these games, and it goes into the animated things behind them as well. Like there's so much budget, like and that's like and like it's just so much time and effort as well.
Before the knights will have you.
I want to be like you, General. I want to be a famous Yenjo legend.
You do. It is a difficult road.
But that's the road you took, right, General?
Oh wow! Sounds like he doesn't want you to take the exact same road. Sounds like that's not the exact road.
Seeing as you're so full of fighting spirit.
Yeah. I won't hold back.
He just kills this kid. It's over. Very cool. Very cool. And like I think again, like I said, like I don't want to ever like make people like I don't ever lie to people about like when we're gonna play this game, because I feel like one of the worst things I could do when it comes to Honkai Star Rail is to be like, hey guys, we're gonna play Honkai Star Rail. We're gonna play Honkai Star Rail coming up, and then we like, and then it takes like if I say like, hey, we're gonna play it soon, then like that means so many different things to a lot of people. So I've met people before that think a year is soon, that think 6 months is soon, they think a month is soon, all this stuff. So like I don't want to ever say we're gonna play it soon. It's gonna be a bit of time. It's gonna be a bit of time, just because like right now we do Genshin 4 times a week. We do the Let's Play at 11 o'clock 7 times a week. We also do Rome Reacts, and we do the Genshin manga every Monday, or whatever extra video is on Monday. And the thing is, like, you know, people might say, well, okay, like, you know, and I've heard, like, by the way, I've heard these suggestions before where they go like, well, you know, take out 2 Let's Play videos and put in like 2 Honkai Star Rail videos. And the issue with that as well is that, like, you know, I feel like the balance we have is great, because there is kind of like a thing where it's like, okay, the people that on the channel, and there are some people that, like, there are quite a few people that are like, okay, I'm not that into Genshin. Just like the people who watch Genshin aren't always going to be into like Ace Attorney, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, you know, that means you're taking 2 episodes away from the other people that want these things. It'd be like Let's Play people be like, hey, instead of an extra Genshin video a week, do 2 extra, you know what I mean? It just doesn't, right now I think I've caught, the rhythm I have is really good. I'm in a good rhythm. I can't wait to play Honkai Star Rail. I can't wait to see all these stories, all these character moments, all these things. And like there was a rule with like Genshin that's kind of changed, where I was like, I don't want to see characters I haven't like I don't really know much about yet. But of course now with the React videos, you can send in character demos for characters I've seen, because I feel like so far I've watched a few of the trailers and like they haven't given away so much for these things. I've watched the Honkai Star Rail videos, and like to me it's like, even watching this, it's like I don't know the full story to this at all. I don't know what's happening here at all. But there is cool animation and cool artwork as well. The next video is sent in by DevTrap. I hope that makes sense, by the way, because like legit, like I cannot wait to play Honkai Star Rail. But I also don't want to get you guys' hopes up as to when I'm going to play, because I feel like that would be really bad to do. The next video is sent in by DevTrap, and it is Wuthering Waves featured cinematics, Saving Light. So this is a game that apparently a lot of Genshin fans have been excited about. I've heard a bit about it. The first time I heard about it was from one of you guys. And I was like, okay, that's, like, is that another game by Hoyo? But then, like, it was just, someone was like, I'm going off to, like, do something with Wuthering Heights or something. I thought that, you know, Wuthering Heights. I genuinely thought when they said Wuthering Heights the first time someone said it, I was like, wow, my audience is reading books. like, I'm going off to read some Wuthering Heights. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Holy hell. My audience is full of a bunch of learned book readers. I was like, holy crap. Oh, wow. So again, I know nothing about this, other than that, like, it's apparently something that, like, Genshin fans... Oh, we have a song going on. Oh, it's cool. Oh my god. Okay, sorry, again, I think you guys said last time you prefer me pausing instead of interrupting stuff that's happening on the screen all the time. I won't pause it too much because it is a music video and you kind of need to like mute and get the music play. But like, there's a line here that actually like was really, really cool. Which is, where is it now? It'll come up now again. Holding our faith through the tears that shine, and then it's about lies coming up. Yeah, burned lie, but we're too scared to shake it. That always implies to me like something that is so true that I think a lot of people like don't talk about enough, and I think it's really well implemented here. Is that like what that says to me is that there's something happening with like that the truth would be too hurtful, but the only way to get through this is to actually accept the truth. I don't know, like that just a really good line to me. Oh, really sick designs, man. Look at this. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for designs that are just so tailored and like interesting and different. Like, look at this black-haired one. Look at this. Close up on her. Close up on the longer black one. Guns. Wow. So this is going to be another game that's kind of like Genshin, or... Now, is it like... I'm sure the show a release date, it hasn't already released yet. Only way out, but I don't want to take is a great line here, by the way. Look, this character here is freaking sick. The character with the long black hair. It's just, there's a lot of chaotic stuff going on as well. Oh, because there is going to be, like, powers. Of course. Anytime you see people... Oh, my God. Anytime you see people fighting, I can't get over the black and gray hairstyle lady. It's so good. Get it. Get it. Get it. See, that's the thing, like with revolutions, like, you know what I mean. I'm gonna probably skip back a bunch just so I can actually like get the full ambiance of it again. But like when you say like ushering in a new world, that is kind of like what we were talking about with the truth stuff, right? Like it takes something to truly like it takes accepting truth to actually be able to like actually usher in a revolution. Sometimes it gets uglier before it gets prettier. Darkest before the dawn, always. We're playing Apollo Justice, and that's what it's like right now. You have to dig into the dirt to find the treasure, you know? You have to get your hands dirty. And I love a good revolution. No more fear. Yeah, it's sick. It's sick. Who's this? Okay, I love the lighting in this as well. Oh, it's really pretty. That's really pretty. Yeah, I really love the lighting in this. It's really good. So, Wuthering Waves. Me calling it Wuthering Heights. Crazy stuff. If we can actually like maybe when did this trailer release? 1 month ago. So, it has 2.5 million views, by the way, which is actually pretty good for a game trailer. May 22nd. It's tomorrow? It's releasing... Wait, let me check here. I'll actually look it up right now. You guys are probably seeing a different screen right now. But I'll look it up right now. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights release date. Calvin, that was 100 years. I typed in Wood. May 22nd. So it's coming out tomorrow. What consoles? PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows. It's not an Xbox. I honestly didn't even know this was a thing beyond what people were talking to me about. I wonder, I wonder if when we like how much will the first part of this game, because if it is like a game like this, will it be like, so Wuthering Heights is an upcoming free-to-play action role-playing game developed by published game by Kuro Games. It's set to release on May 23rd, 2024. A gacha game with open world aspect. Wuthering Waves has been compared to other titles as Genshin Impact. I wonder, would it be cool to play this sooner rather than later and have a game like, have a game that I am like starting on the ground with, like everyone else is starting on the ground with. And then get to the first, like, and then so every time there's an update, I can play some more of it. I wonder if that's a good idea. You know, because that way then we won't have as much content to go through as we would in what you call it, in Honkai Star Rail. We'll see, because I don't want to promise anything, because if you promise something and then you don't follow through in it, that's kind of bad. That was really cool, by the way. Thank you so much for sending in that Death Trap. I actually really enjoyed watching it. I think the lighting in it was actually fantastic. I think the actual character designs are great. The girl with the black and the gray hair. Again, I have no idea. I go into these games and I have like no earthly idea like what I'm getting myself into. The concept of like a gacha game was never a thing that I was like, holy crap, I'm like, this is something I definitely want to play. In fact, like I think back in 2020, I was just like, I don't really like the concept of it. But now like I'm like after I played Genshin, I was like, holy crap, this is like, and it's like, by the way, it becomes apparent in Genshin where when you get to Mondstadt, when you're like, okay, this is actually just a beautiful game, and the gacha elements don't even come close to like being something that is detrimental to it. Okay, so the next video is sent in by Redacted, and it is Maki's Valentine when she sees me / never get rid of me. So is this a song? We'll check it out anyway. Yeah, it's a song. We're having a bunch of characters here.
I stick with real things, usually facts and figures. When information's in its place, I minimize the guessing game.
There you go.
Guess what? I don't like guessing games or when I feel things.
It's so interesting having Maki have this accent.
How am I supposed to operate if I'm just tossed around by fate? Like on an
I think about, by the way, Danganronpa V3 every single freaking day. It's a good song though. Oreos. Okay. No, girl, never. Never. Kaito's not running away from you. Kaito's not running away from you, girl. I'll tell you this right now. No. No. It's funny because this song fits Maki in a way that's like not unexpected, where it's not like, okay, Maki wouldn't be this self-conscious. It's a matter of her like, you know, thinking that people would find her like prickly side unappealing, because she does want to make friends. She actually does. She loves making friends. And when she does start making friends with us, she becomes like the sweetest and most like open person you can find. It's just that you have to let her be open on her terms, not on everyone else's. Oh, it's actually a nice song. It's a really nice song.
Just a tad. I'm not defensive.
The accent is so funny coming out of Maki's mouth. Jesus.
Sorry, girls, but he could be criminal. Some sort of psychopath who escaped from an institution somewhere where they don't have girls.
That actually does describe him well.
He could be colorblind. How untrustworthy is that? He could
No, definitely not untrustworthy.
even worse, he could be very nice, have lovely eyes, and make me laugh.
Yeah,
Come out of
yeah.
hiding.
I'm gonna cry.
What do I do?
I will say though, he doesn't have nice hair, Maki.
Oh God, what if when he sees me, I like him and he knows it,
Whoever picked this song is so smart because that's exactly what frickin' happens. That's what happens. We open the door with Maki, and as try as she might for a while, she cannot close it. When we open that door, when Shuichi and Kaido open that door is ajar. That door has a gap in it for the rest of the game, and it opens and slightly closes, was leaving a tiny crack open every single time. But that's the truth. This is this shouldn't be making me feel this emotional.
Someone who, when he sees me, wants to again.
Great control in this voice. Maki, well done. It's Maki singing, no one else. Wait, is Kaido gonna sing? One very successful day later, Maki decides Kaido is too good for her, and he deserves someone better. His response: hold up a second.
Please, just take the McSpooky and leave. Just leave.
Dawn, I will never let you let me leave. I promise I'm not lying. Go ahead, ask anybody who has seen me trying.
Okay.
I'm not going. If it seems like I did, I'm probably waiting outside. Such a stubborn man, you'll likely never meet another.
Yes.
When we have our family dinner, you can ask my mother. She's the best. You'll learn more about her on our family history test.
Here's the thing, right? My opinion of their relationship is, and this is why I always saw it, and this is the way I always think is canonically the true, is that Maki was already too good for Kaito perceptively at the start of the game, but Kaito throughout the whole game proves time and time again why he is just his perfect catch. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna do this right. Show you I'm not moving. Wherever you go, I will be far to follow. I'm gonna love you so.
Yeah, you love her. You love her. You better love her.
Already know. I love you means you're never, ever, ever getting rid of me. You can try, oh, but I love you means you're never, ever, ever getting rid of me.
Ready for your check?
Not quite. Pie for everybody.
A very Kaito thing to do.
Child in the suburb of the city. I spent my days alone. My only friend was a stray kitty called Sardine. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious to call a cat a kind of fish. She played hard to get, hissing while she scratched me. What she was trying to say was, "Ogie, come and catch me."
But this fits so well with Maki and Kaido.
Stood between a cat and her new best friend, me.
There is an element of Maki that is all about hey, come and get me. You know what I mean?
You go, I won't be far to follow. I'm gonna love you so.
This is making me feel so emotional because I miss these characters so freaking much.
Already know. I love you means you're never, ever, ever getting rid of me.
When you say never,
You can try, oh, but I love you means blah, blah,
Okay.
blah.
Okay. Okay.
Love you means you're never, ever, ever getting rid of me.
Okay. I did think that actually fit the characters quite well. I actually do think it fit the characters very well. Honestly, I need to be honest with you. This is my apology video. No, I need to honestly for me, Maki, sorry, not Maki. Danganronpa V3 has truly changed the definitive Danganronpa experience in my mind. Because remember when I played Danganronpa 1, the first Danganronpa game, I was like, okay, this is this is peak visual novel style video game. Then I played Danganronpa 2 and I was like, okay, for the whole game I was kind of oh, Danganronpa 1's still better. Then you get to the ending and you finish that game, you're like, no, this is the better one. V3 in my mind is to me personally is the best one. and it's the one that like people say it's recency bias. People say it's recency bias, maybe, but like for me, I never really have a recency bias when it comes to video games because my favorite game of all time is my favorite games of all time. Shadow of the Colossus, Final Fantasy X. These are games that came out when I was a child. It's you know, if anything, I have a nostalgia bias maybe. But yeah, thank you so much for sending the video. I just thought that was really it fit the characters well. And the next video is sent in by Minu, and it is the Aether and Lumines VAs bickering like siblings in Among Us. Let's actually check this out. So these are really funny.
I was told that Sarah and Zach were fighting.
Is that Erica?
Well, that's
So
constant.
Zach told his chat that in the dictionary next to the definition of Satan is my picture.
I'm not speaking anything false. It's the truth.
Okay.
Wow.
I murdered him like once.
Zach happened to saying just kidding as well, sweetheart.
Sarah killed me like 4 games in a row. Backstabbed me. 4 games in a row.
And then he turned around and killed me.
That was the 4 nights worth.
So I feel like we're even. But
We are not even yet. I gotta kill you like at least 2 more times, and then maybe.
You
maybe
two better
we're-
stop fighting, or else I'll turn this car around right now.
But Dad, are we there yet?
I only killed you like one time.
Oh my gracious.
That is the biggest lie I have ever heard in my entire
Actual,
life.
actual sweethearts though. Actual sweethearts.
At least 3, probably 4.
Okay, but the third time doesn't count because I felt so guilty. I felt so guilty, and I was saying to my chat, like, I feel bad. Like, I killed Zach.
By the way,
He was really
such a
good.
smart idea. By the way, I'm trying to point with the cursor, but you can't see the cursor. I'm pointing at the 2 characters. Having these the characters that look this good.
I am Satan, and so then I was like, well, now it's over.
And I was right.
This is war, and
Oh, Summer at Dunn Stores. Okay. I think those are absolutely hilarious. And like, can I just say as well, Zach Aguilar, like being able to play that many freaking characters. Like, sorry, being able to play Aether and being able to play Nier in Nier Replicant, like 2 incredibly iconic characters that mean so much to the character's fan base. Like, he is like golden for the rest of his life because the fan base will always protect him at that stage. Like, for me, like, he's like, his both performances are really good. Like, and of course him as Nier is also just like a really perfect performance. Incredible voice actor. I'm glad also he fixed his hair a little bit. He looks really good now. He looks really good. Not that he didn't look good then. I just like his hair better now. Thank you so much for sending in, Manu. That was really funny. The next video sent in by our resident new YouTuber Arcadia of Pride, and it is Duel in the Mist Inazuma OST Battle Team NV. So this is a performance of it. Is there? Hold on a second. There's something warning. This video may trigger discomfort in patients with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewers are advised to watch with caution. So that's a good warning to actually read as well. Let's check this out then for all you people. I actually like seeing the performances because it shows like how, like, I think someone said like a lot of the money goes into these performances. And to me, like, again, it just shows care in your oh, look at this. It shows care in your video game and care for your story. Look at the talent. Like, the talent. I'm slapping my knee. I have to do it, like. Sorry, I have to do it to you. It's beautiful. Oh. Again, the place they're playing in is fantastic, too. I'm sorry, but, like, it's so... like, this is like Kubo and the Two Strings type things. Jesus Christ. Like, there's like these are like, I can play the guitar. I look at these string instruments they're playing, and I can't fathom. I can't fathom it. Music here. It's like the battle theme? Pretty sick. Again, that's what's kind of insane to me. And sorry here for pausing for a second here. Like how, like to me, it's like the world of Genshin to outsiders, like will be like, oh, it's a whatever game or whatever like that. It's just a gacha game. Like you wish that your favorite video games did stuff like this. And this is why, like, I argue that, like, sometimes Western games and games that are made in the West sometimes fall flat for me because, like, afterwards, after they're made, the games themselves don't really have this. They're just quickly going, okay, what can we do with the next one? Like, people go, like, they milk Persona. It's like, heck yeah, they do. And we get to see, like, cool performances of the songs because they stay iconic for years to come. They stay so iconic for years to come. Like, this is the type of stuff that I love. Oh, there's a flute. I saw a flute. It's so cool. It's so cool. I'd love to play the 2-string instrument there, like the Kubo instrument. Whatever it's called. I haven't watched Kubo in years, man. Maybe like 6 years. It's been 6 years since I watched Kubo. I actually watched it with my nephews and they were terrified. Wow. And there's a lot of pressure in the song, isn't there? It feels like, you know, you're moving. It feels like you have to move. Oh my god. Of course, that's the vibe they're going for. Like it reminds me so much of Sekiro. Sekiro, my favorite From Software game. Or honestly, like Shenmue. I know people are like, oh, this Japanese song reminds you of this Japanese game. Yes. I think they get the urgency right of the combat in these situations. They get it really right. It's really cool. There we go again. There we go again. There we go again. It's beautiful. Very cool. Very, very cool. And again, the music in Genshin has always been really fantastic. And like seeing these live performances is always really special because we actually get to like see, like, I guess, like what actually goes into the, like not the behind the scenes stuff, but it's more just kind of like what goes into like the actual like care that's put into the game, why they put so much care into these games. They actually do care about the music in this game. And like enough to like show people like what happens afterwards, or like put money into stuff that happens afterwards, and it keeps the video games alive. It keeps them alive, guys. I'm just saying this right now. It keeps your video game alive, pumping money into this aspect of stuff, because this is stuff people watch afterwards. This is stuff people share. Arcadia shared this as well, and thank you so much for sharing this also. This is stuff that keeps your video game alive, in my opinion. And the next video is sent in by KoIS, and it is Songs of the Traveler, behind the scenes and the music in Liyue. Okay, this is kind of cool. Let's check it out. So behind the scenes. Combining traditional Chinese instruments and a Western orchestral music.
里乐这次是我们游戏的第2块世界区域，它会有独特的中式美、东方美的感觉。里乐的音乐创作在西方的管弦乐的基础上加入了中国元素、中国乐器。
That's really cool.
我觉得可以代表中西文化的碰撞与融合。
中国民族乐器像我演奏这个笛子呢，它就是声音比较的飘逸清脆，它的旋律感非常强。
Hearing this Liwei music, by the way, like I haven't been there in like 2 weeks, and already I'm feeling like emotional.
色是非常非常独特的。
二胡这个乐器，它是比较的倾向于像一种叙述性故事一样的一种乐器的一种感情在里面，像这种森林里面的小溪流水，或者像一片平原非常开阔，就是微风袭来。
That is true. And to get like the energy from your music that you want to convey like a message, like that's always really, really cool as well. And like, you know, like again, like there's so many times where like you post about this stuff and people are like, well, that's all video games. And it's like, it's not. It's really freaking not. And I get so sick of that when people are like, that's every video game. Every video game does that. They really don't. I played videos. I'm not going to say the video game. I played a video game, a remake one time that remade an old game. The old game had fantastic music and they changed every single song in the game. Actually, you know what? It's a video game. Like, you're allowed to criticize a video game. It was the Demon Souls remake, and it remade all the songs from the original Demon Souls remake. And all of a sudden, like, the songs went from like having like this awe-inspiring personality for every single moment that you were in the game, to then having like they took all the songs and made them into these like orchestral like oh type of songs. But like the problem with that is like, yes, they sound cool, but if it doesn't like convey a message of what you're seeing in front of you, it doesn't matter to me whatsoever. And you can always tell when a game is not like trying to convey a message. They're just trying to like play a song. I think the exceptions, like, you know, when people go like, well, Calvin, you like Final Fantasy 13, and that sometimes has the similar music going on through the whole game, like, and I think the difference is that like you can also convey a message by having like music repeat over and over again constantly wherever you go, and that's to make you feel something. Like, for example, you know, whenever the music in Final Fantasy 13 goes dun, 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 like that, and in Final Fantasy 10 similar way as well, you know, okay, I'm about to fight, and you get that feeling of hype. You're like, okay, I'm about to fight. You know that like when you have the da 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 da, you're like, okay, this is just me having like a stroll through these battle systems here, like that. That's what this is. With Genshin, like, you know, I love that they're talking about like the conveyance of like emotions as you're going through the music, because it's so important to like have a song back up your emotions. What was that really bad Twitter thread we saw like a while back, which is like, I hate when songs try to manipulate the moment in movies. And it's like, yes, they're like music is so important to story and character and personality, and I love that they're bringing this up here. And I'm sorry to like go off on a tangent here, but like it's exactly what I feel like when I'm playing a video game. And no offense to Blue Point team, like, but like to me, changing the music, you know, to be more generic, like. But like, and it's that thing where it's like, I'm sure they thought that like, okay, this sounds amazing, which it does. It's on its own. If you listen to the Demon Souls songs in a row, it's like, oh, this is an amazing song. And I'm actually going to show you the difference right now in this after this, so we can actually watch it together, and we'll watch it on this React video. What I'm talking about of the differences of like how you can like have a song that conveys emotion or a song that just is sick. Like you can have both, but you can have a sick song that conveys emotion, but you can just have a sick song that doesn't convey any emotion. Then it doesn't matter. Sorry for pausing too much there.
我们古筝都是5声音阶的排列比较多，其实就像2个人的对话一样的，应该是要更多的去服务于它的这个旋律，为它在下面把和声给铺好。
说到琵琶的特色啊，就是唐代著名诗人白居易写的《琵琶行》，里面有形容到大弦嘈嘈如急雨，小弦切切如飞，嘈嘈切切错大弹，大珠小珠落玉盘。
So what she's saying as well there, that like chattering and pattering, pattering and chattering as pearls large on a small jade plate fall. So it's kind of like the instrument is making a sound of like, you know, like almost when rain drops on like something metal, or when like she said, pearls like kind of like falling. You know, like if you ever drop a bunch of marbles on the ground, maybe, but maybe in a more graceful way.
其实陈志毅很早以前就在尝试做这个东西。现在的民乐跟交响乐
It's a really cool idea.
结合，观众或者大家玩家们更关心的是民乐和交响乐
Yes.
而不是放在一起，只是加一起当小饭一样。我觉得其实这个还是音乐是不是漂亮，这个音乐里有没有中国
I love this. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Yeah, awesome. They're freaking awesome.
觉得是高水准的。
So talking about the like, does it you can make these songs blend together, but they have to blend together well. You know what I mean? They have to. So sick. Challenges and this is gonna be really interesting, actually.
我们这次特别邀请到了陆小新老师，他曾经获得了格莱美的录音大奖。请到了陆小新老师，他曾经获得了格莱美的录音。
No wonder the music is so good. What the hell? What? Why did no one tell me this? No wonder the music is freaking
大奖。陆老师非常有经验，然后他特别擅长于现场的环境的拾音，因为现场录音条件非常苛刻。
戴耳机呢，这是个非常大的挑战，因为这个耳机它会串音。其实过去呢是在录音棚里来录，以前是没有这样录过。 幸好呢，这个厅呢够安静，它的信噪。
So he favors a more live performance.
为什么我们说这次会花比较多的精力？因为之前我们录交响乐队的时候，相对来说是用比较快速搭建的方式。那么这次我们实际上是类似于一个把录音棚的完整。
Which is interesting, isn't it? Like
因为这样的一个搭建，实际上
setting it up
整整1天的时间。
Difference between the Shanghai Symphony Orchestra and the London Philharmonic Orchestra?
之前与伦敦爱乐乐团合作的地点是在教堂
Serious?
因此感觉很庄严、很庄重。
For the Mondstadt songs? They were in a church? I have chills. Like, this is like, I already knew the music was incredible, but this is incredible.
这一次的录音地点，我们选择在上海交响乐团的音乐厅，这是上海交响乐团乐手经常演出的地方。看得出上交的乐手指挥的状态都非常的熟练和松弛。中国乐手演奏
So like creating a more like natural
自
feeling.
然、很细腻，而且他们有时候会很奔放，这是我觉得特别。
But now they're able to like kind of give a more of a fiery feeling to their performance because they're in like a different environment.
我觉得陈老师对大家要求很严格，然后他弹琴的时候，原来他对自己的要求也很严格。
Which is good. I think it's good when it comes to like making songs for a game.
所以我觉得非常好，大家很愉快，跟陈老师这次合作，希望大家今后还有。
And I'm just gonna say as well, I genuinely think that when it comes to video game music, I genuinely freaking think that like so many games nowadays, like I like 10 games come out every week, like in terms of like the major games. There's shovelware games that come out all the time as well, but like say like 10 games come out on the Western storefront, on the PlayStation Store, the Nintendo Store, and the Xbox Store, and Steam, that are like kind of like non-shovelware games. Like let's say 10. I'm not saying 10. I know more games come out every single week, but let's say 10 games come out a week. Guaranteed, like 7 of those games will never have music that's remembered 3 years from now, and it's a sad thing to say. But it's the way things are now, and it warms my heart to see people care about their video game music so freaking much nowadays. Because I guarantee you, like, there's so many games with gigantic, like, big budgets and graphical, like, quality improvements. But if I sat someone down and played them a song from the midpoint of a game and said, "What's this song? What's this game from?" a lot of people wouldn't even remember, even if they played the game in full. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so good to have games that care so much about their music.
很高兴通过这次的录制，然后接触了《原神》这个游戏的音乐，包括我有一些同事，我们排练之后也会聊到，大家也会觉得，确实这个整个音乐的代入感是非常强的。抛开那些气势磅礴的战斗音乐，或者是比较大场面的一些乐段不说，那些精致的乐段反而是更加触动到我们心里某一些的地方。
Delicate pieces touching their heart is such like a great phrase for this as well.
这个东西啊，很多人觉得它好像，是不是高雅音乐好像离大家有点远？其实我觉得这是一个包容性最强的一个音乐品种，因为它几百年下来了，仍然在各个时代能够表达各个时代需要的东西。跟真人的这个录制相比啊，就好像有一种灵魂在里面。那它带给你的心灵的震撼，跟一个打游戏的人。给一个在旁边听到或者观看你打游戏的人，可能他的观感都会有不一样。
This is so true. This is so true.
在未来，我们游戏音乐的理念也不会改变。为了追求极致的游戏音乐，将来我们会继续与世界各地不同的音乐团队合作，在管弦乐的基底加入世界音乐的风味。
Man, that was actually incredible to like learn about that. That was really incredible to learn about that. I'm amazed. What they've been able to do with their video game stuff. Because they've always been like super fantastic as it comes to like their video game music. Like I personally think so anyway. I think you guys would agree. Like I think there's no one who would disagree. I'm gonna look up this Demon Soul song as I'm talking about this as well. But yeah, I like for me, like I'm not nearly as like with it as these as the people who are making this are, right? Who are making the game are. But what I can say is that like a lot of the feelings I have on music nowadays is the same way I feel about graphics. It's the same way I feel about style. And it's like if you don't put any passion or heart behind your game, yes, it's going to be a hit, but it's not going to be the thing that's going to be remembered years from now. Because the fact is, like, people are going to be talking about... I'm going to use an example of Breath of the Wild. People are going to be talking about the Breath of the Wild stuff, like, and the art style and all that stuff for years to come. But the games with, like, gigantic graphics that don't mean a thing, don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Amazing. But I'm going to show you... So I'm going to show you what I mean by this, just so you don't think I'm crazy. So this is the... Maiden Estrella theme for Demon Souls, the remake. I skip forward a little bit. Okay, so what we're hearing now is a good song. Right, this is a good song. This is sick. Right? This is sick. Right? And I never would want to, like, ever say that anyone who made this song is bad, because what they did was a really fantastic job. Like, it's amazing. It sounds beautiful. They took this song and they said, you know, we desperately, we want to make something different. And they added the orchestral songs. But to me, Maiden Estrella's theme there, it sounds like more kind of like, yeah, it's a sad theme. But to me, it also conveys, like, with the remake theme, it conveys like, oh, this is an epic fight. This is like, oh, this is an epic encounter. This is an incredible boss battle. Maiden Estrella in Demon Souls is meant to be sad. It's meant to make you feel icky for even thinking about fighting her. And this is what the original theme conveys. And it's the one I will remember forever. Straight into it. The first thing, you feel like you shouldn't be here, first of all. You feel, there's guilt behind the song. There's guilt behind it. Listen to that. Listen to that. It's so good. It's so good. My heart is pounding whenever I hear this song. There's a guilt behind this song. There's a feeling of magic behind this song that is so... To me, it's kind of lost with the new version. And again, I'm not insulting any... music or like any musicians, because I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this. But I hope you get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to insult a dev. I'm trying to just talk about like why I think there's a difference between making music to convey a emotion versus making music that conveys the emotion in the time, in the space. Koi, yes, that was a fantastic video. I loved watching it. I hope I didn't sound too pretentious either. I just really feel like music is so important to me and all of you guys as well. And having the right song at the right time is super important to me at all times. The next video is sent in by Felicitas Felix, and it is the Realm of Tranquil Eternity Inazuma live symphony performance. This should be really cool to see. The Inazuma music is really good so far. It's really good. Sorry for the mic there. Beautiful stuff here as well. Again, like, it's all about, you know, like I said, music making you feel something, and this definitely does make you feel something. And that's the thing, and like, I don't think like, people who don't play video games don't understand as well, like the power that goes behind creating music. I think because a lot of people think, you know, I think a lot of people don't play music, especially like parents and stuff, like will always be kind of like, or like older parents, now grandparents probably in some cases, are probably like, you know, it's all just a mishmash together. The Genshin music always impressed me, though. Me talking about it in the past tense like it's over. It's over, guys. See you later. No more Genshin. Hope you enjoyed the Genshin playthrough. Because I sure as hell didn't. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The control this takes, by the way, as well, is something that should be talked about too. Like the controlling your timing, the controlling even in the way you pluck your fingers, like everything is so precise. Beautiful location to do this in as well. There we go, they pick up the pace as well. The outfits are really cool too, aren't they? It's really pretty. It's just really, really pretty. Nice hair. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. So good. Yeah, no, even like the key changes as well, and the changes in the song as well always get to me as well. Like, it's so freaking good. They keep cutting back to the guy with the balding haircut, and honestly, good choice. Makes it look very serious, you know? Oh, it's so pretty. Like, it kind of makes you realize when you're watching this, like, how much, like we already knew this. Great pause here. This guy looks awesome as well. Like, there is such, like, a, like when you learn like that people, how am I trying to say this? No matter what, these people are making their own craft. And a lot of them might be video game fans, but a lot of them are just like music fans. And like we saw the lady in the last video saying like, hey, like it doesn't matter if you're like it doesn't matter where you're from. Music is like this language that like, because of the way it's toned out, you can actually like understand it in almost every language. And I do feel like that's the way you can kind of feel this here, because you can feel the emotions of this just by like listening to it itself. It doesn't have to be like words accompanying it either. Words are nice though sometimes. Oh. A second performance? Now I know this song. Of course, like everyone like can remember like that beat. Like we knew the first song about like, that beat like here right away. It's so sick. Oh. It's so cool. Yeah. It's like, again, like it's one of those things where like this is like the stuff that like you could like listen to like, and like it would change my day. Change my day entirely for the better. Yeah, look at this. I love when they do close-ups of the shots of the freaking hands as well. Because people don't realize how impressive this is. Whoa, look at this shot as well. Never has been a more apt phrase, understanding the assignment. She's waiting. She's like, I have my time coming. My time's coming. Just you wait, boys. Look, she's like, just you wait, boys. Yeah. Well, I need to know what, like, I could definitely look up what this instrument is called afterwards, but like, I think it's always more fun having you guys be like, this is this instrument, then we have a conversation about it, you know? Jesus, man. These quick shots as well. I know like the video production is like secondary to this, but like I feel like it also is like something that's actually like adds to it quite a bit. Like look at the sync they're in as well. It's deadly. It's so cool. It's so cool. Like it's just a magical part of the song as well. Oh, it's so good. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Is that the end here? It is. That's a great ending. Like, again, like, I love seeing these things because the music in this stuff is actually so freaking good. It's actually so freaking good. And, like, so impressive. I think that, like, one of the things that, like, happens all the time with me, like, when I listen to these songs is that, like, you know, they bring up, like, again, like I said, like, a few different emotions. Usually it's, like, a chill kind of feeling, like a spine-chilling feeling, and then you're kind of sitting there kind of, like, waiting for stuff like this, you know, waiting for the key changes and things like that. It's pretty freaking awesome. It's pretty freaking awesome. Pretty freaking sick. Thank you so much for sending in, Felix, as well. But I love seeing the music and stuff like this as well. The next video is sent in by Yuled, and it is the character demo for Yaimiko, who is a character that we met recently in Genshin, who is, I described her as terrifying, but beautiful. And I feel like that's the best way to describe her. She is an absolute beautiful lady who is terrifying in every way.
I then found myself reborn as Guji Yai, leading shrine maidens in sacred matters. Sipping tea
you sip all the tea you want. I love sipping tea.
And making appearances to listen to
I think I
shrine
gulp
visitors.
tea, though. I'm a gulper. Like, I think it's just an Irish thing to gulp tea, you know?
Enough. Oh, this won't do. We're making a light novel here, not a dry documentary. Huh? And honestly,
Look at the animations
do you really
here.
think I lead such a boring existence?
Oh my god.
No.
If any Genshin character put the book up against my chin.
Not at all, Lady Guji.
Holy hell.
Chief editor to you.
Ah, yes.
That's chief editor, man.
A light
Wait, 1
novel
second. I'm
begins with
sorry.
pure imagination.
Look at this. Look at this.
They think I lead such a boring
Look at that. Look at that.
No, not at all.
Look
Lady
at that.
Guji.
That's chief editor to you.
Ah, yes, chief editor.
A light novel begins with pure imagination. For example, I must say, this is quite the cunning trap.
So sick. Again, this is a character like I fear, but like a very look at this, in a very healthy way. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Oh, what was that? Okay, it should be a crime to be this cool. It should be a crime to be this cool. Just saying. Should be a crime. Oh my god. If serving was a crime, she would be put to death.
But have I walked into your trap, or have you?
I can't imagine you walking into any trap. Yeah, Miko, I'm just saying.
I'm always watching.
Oh my god. This is a beautiful demo.
A sight to
You are. To me, she's like impressive in a kind of like I'll be her assistant kind of way, you know? She's super impressive. Yeah, too bad.
Just do it.
Do something to him. Oh my god.
Exorcise you? But I thought you weren't ready to return
She's
to the
terrifying.
cycle. So first, let me show you what a cruel world this can be.
What?
No.
It's so graphic. You'd never really
Oh, of course
do something
not, right?
like that, would you?
Splendid. When the reader starts
Yep.
asking that question, you know you've written a good one.
Well, that's actually like true. Like when the reader starts being like, or the watcher starts like questioning what's happening on the screen, that's when you know you've actually like done something good. You've created a discussion around your stuff. Oh, holy hell! Yaimiko, a character who we're gonna learn a lot more about, I think, going through this thing, going through this Archon quest. Right. that is always going to be so impressive to me how they do those demos. And I think actually she's just a really unbelievably beautifully drawn character, and she's scary and she's beautiful and all this stuff. And that's why I think is the most impressive about her. But that trailer kind of confirms everything I said, the vibe I got from her. Thank you for sending in, Yul. The next video sent in by Malcolm Condé, and it is how Genshin community took down $1 trillion company. This is insane to me because I know nothing about this whatsoever. Nothing.
So, picture this, okay? You are on top of the world. You are one of the biggest companies in the world. You have a market cap of over $1 trillion on the stock market, okay? You're practically unstoppable until one day, unexpectedly, hits the fan. Now tell me, is it an enemy mega corporation trying to take you down by hacking your internal database?
I don't know why they showed, like, I think that was actually like I'll probably like censor that aspect of it. That was like a real protest that happened with real people. That was really...
No, it's a bunch of teenagers who are pissed that they didn't get enough twinkle tits for their mobile game, okay? That's it. That's what took you down. And you know what the best part about this is? You weren't even the main target. You were just collateral damage. So as you might have already seen in my last video, the Genshin community successfully took over Google Maps. But I'm so sad to report that the amazing Filipino locations are gone. But no worries, I'm sure they'll add more. You know why? Because as we all know, Filipinos are just built different. The last video was really fun, but a lot of people were commenting, saying things like, first it was Google Classroom, now it's Google Maps. But what does that mean?
I have no idea.
Well, it's simple. It has to do with the first Genshin anniversary and how the Genshin community successfully disrupted the services of the Google Play Store. This is what this video is all about. The day everyone got caught in the crossfire. So as you know, huge backlash on the first anniversary of this game, prompting even a Know Your Meme page being made about it. But not even this page can explain in detail the amount of chaos that was happening back then. There were many factors involved. I'll try my
Never
best
been
to
on Know Your
explain
Meme.
This absolute madness. The thing is, this all arises from expectations. It's the first anniversary, right? But there were more factors at play that aren't explained in many places on the internet. There was one agent of chaos. I don't know who the hell it is, okay? But they made up this rumor that for the first anniversary rewards, you were going to get a 5-star. Not just any 5-star, you were going to get Ayaka. Okay? One of the most sought after Inazuma characters in the game at the time. It's not like they made up a rumor of, oh, you're going to get a standard 5-star character, more believable. No, they straight up said Ayaka. And that rumor for some reason spread like
So this is a rumor that was spread by someone else, not the actual game itself. I already kind of like, if that's the case, and like if this is the thing where they get angry at the game company for like a rumor, to me that's nuts. But we'll see what happens.
Around the community to the point where
that happens so many times with rumors about video games, by the way, where people like only like have like believed it's like with sometimes with fan theories, they become like the truth because people have talked about them for so long. And like there's been so many times where I've talked to people about video games and they've been like, oh, well, actually, I think canonically, Jason actually does 3 flips at the 3rd scene. And you're like, that doesn't happen. And it's like, yeah, it is. And you look it up and you're like, oh, this is a fan thing. And it's become truth.
When the anniversary actually hit, and the only rewards were 10 intertwined fates and some primogems from
honestly, I would take it.
You can understandably see why many people were disappointed. It's probably one of these low-effort news channels with these ridiculously clickbaity thumbnails you see on your recommended sometimes. Like, look at this. It's stuff like this that caused this, man. What do you mean free to look? That's ridiculous.
See, I agree with that as well. I think that, like, one of the things that happens sometimes is, like, I think, like, you know, I would never be the type of person that defends, like, a big video game company. Like, you know what I mean? Especially a $1 trillion company. But, like, I think that, like, when you get upset about something and criticize something, you have to criticize the aspects that are actually true. Like, if obviously, like, if you don't offer something, like, it'd be the only way I could, like, equate it to something for my thing is, like, if I, like, said, hey, Roma Reacts, you get to react to 10-minute limited videos. Yeah, it has to be 10 minutes. That's the limit. And then you have someone coming in and they give you they submit a 30-minute video, and I'm like, oh well, I'm not watching this because like it's too long for like so many submissions. And then they say, well, I heard that you would do 30 minutes. It's like, well, talk to me about it. talk to me about it.
Prompted Genshin players to start complaining on HoYoLab and Genshin's official Discord server, having everything deleted, of course, by the moderation teams. Out of frustration,
Jesus, they did this out of off a rumor?
Two main things happened. Let's start with the most creative and wholesome approach to this, which was spamming the Discord with Chi-Chi stickers laying down, right? Prompting the moderators to enable slow mode. You can only post a message every 10 minutes because the spam was ridiculous. And the great thing about this is that they can't delete it because they made the sticker, right? Which is very creative. So they were kind of using MiHoYo's art against them. Creative, nice. It's like a peaceful protest. Look at this guy over here.
And it's 100% okay to have to be not into a gift that you get for a 1-year anniversary or whatever, especially if you put money into the game, especially you've done all this stuff. The only way I look at it from my perspective is just like, I think, you know, you kind of do it yourself if you make up stuff and you believe rumors.
Fallen with this profile picture, just spamming. But the other thing they did, oh man, they went to Google Play. This is where Google comes in. They went to the Google Play Store. This was the Genshin Impact page. I went back in time here on the Wayback Machine. So this is the Genshin Impact Google Play Store page on September 14th, exactly 2 weeks before the first year anniversary. The rating is 4.5. Everything's looking great. What a beautiful page, right? Well, that didn't last long because on the 28th of September, on the day of the
Jesus,
as you can see right here, two. It's a 2 out of 5. Look at
Jesus Christ.
Reviews, dude. It's insane. What they did in one day. That free 5-star Ayaka sure didn't show up, huh? It didn't take long for Google to clean up all the crazy 1-star reviews. That
of course.
On the 29th, one day after, you can already see the rating went back to 3 and gradually went back up to 4, which made the Genshin community still feel like they weren't heard. So what did? They attacked other MiHoYo games. So
I think that, like, again, like, I totally understand being frustrated at something, but I also feel like there is a case of like, don't, like, I would never personally, like, whenever I see like a rumor happen on, like, there's so many rumors happen all the time, Blood Bowl remake happening, all this happening. I never believe rumors until I hear from the horse's mouth, ever. And I think this is one of those cases where, like, when I said it makes sense that they delete a lot of the 1-star reviews. If you see a lot of 1-star reviews show up on your product within a day, usually that means that they're not all legit, like, I review this 1-star because of this quality aspect, you know what I mean? So I understand why Google did that. Like, again, I think, you know, protesting in any way is always a good thing. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, you guys can give your opinion too. From my perspective, I would have been like, oh, well, it was a rumor, you know?
Tears of Themis, Hokai Impact 3rd, anything, just anything under MiHoYo at the time. But it doesn't end here. This is where it gets crazy, okay? They decided, you know what? Actually, let's look at this article that sums it up pretty well. Genshin Impact players who are protesting the game's lack of first-year anniversary awards chose a brand new tactic to express their anger at developer MiHoYo. Review bombing unrelated applications, including
Jesus, man. League of Legends?
And other popular mobile games not developed by MiHoYo.
What? Can I say as well, it's so okay to be upset with a game that you've pumped a lot of money into not giving you an anniversary award. It's 100% okay to be upset by that. Like, maybe if they did offer like a standard banner character or something like that, because I've gotten quite a few of the standard banner characters. So maybe they did offer something like that might be cool. Who knows?
Report of Kotaku. That's right. You read that right. Google Classroom. In fact, here's a list of all the games.
Holy shit. So Epic 7, Cookie Run Kingdom, Pokemon Unite, Clash of Clans, Arc Knights, Tears of Themis, Honkai Impact 3rd, Call of Duty Mobile, Roblox.
This insane period of time.
Yeah, no, they are. These are some of the popular games.
And then you see Google Classroom. It's so stupid.
I think it's kind of funny.
Getting
caught in the crossfire like that.
Dude. FBI Open Up says, Genshin World sucks, MiHoYo is trash, bro. It's Google Classroom. There's a bug with Tartaglia is not naked. Please fix.
Okay.
Dude, it's Google Classroom. Leave it alone. Give anniversary rewards. Dude, Genshin Myth Pack for dude, leave Google Classroom alone. Genshin made me do this. Made my college life miserable. You know, okay, that's fair. You can give them 1 star. That's fair. That's fair. Where are my Primogems? Dude, leave Google Classroom alone. This wasn't even just popular apps. You would go anywhere on the store. If it was a highly rated app, you would see, like, look at this. Bank Central Asia Mobile Genshin Rewards.
You have to kind of like admire the dedication to it. It's just kind of like it's very clear that this is like, to me, it looks like a meme protest, right? That they were like, and like the fan base is so gigantic that they like, of course they were going to keep going with this type of stuff.
To do with anything.
No.
McDonald's. Bad anniversary rewards. Fix your game, MiHoYo. What does that have to do with anything? Genshin, have you heard of it? Have some respect. No one survived this. It's like everyone got caught in the crossfire that is the first Genshin anniversary. This isn't just something Genshin players remember. This is like a worldwide event. Like, we don't talk about the first Genshin anniversary in this household.
I first heard about it like randomly, crossfire. You know, that's when I first heard about it.
But it doesn't end here, because hundreds of thousands of reviews kept being added to Genshin even 2 weeks after the anniversary. Why? Because there was a back and forth. The other apps that were getting review bombed by Genshin players all decided, let's review bomb Genshin as revenge. So the whole thing was just this chaotic boomerang. Google was caught in the crossfire. Google Classrooms was caught in the crossfire. Everyone was
what's so funny is like those fans are not hurting because the Genshin fans wanted this.
So in the end, what calmed down this entire shitstorm? Well, it's simple. 1,600 Primogems. And a wind glider that was meant to be paid but was given out for free. That's right. All of this global domination plan, this chaotic energy on a global scale that disrupted an entire Play Store of $1 trillion company, all it took was just 10 pulls. Thank you, MiHoYo. Thank you. Thank you for ending what probably could have been World War III. If there's anything you should learn from this, is that the Genshin community, once united, can take down the entire global ecosystem. Okay, they're that dangerous. Don't mess with them, please. Let them fight over ships. Let them fight over the stupidest things. Let them fight over 2 characters kissing. At the end of the day, when they're united, the whole world is at stake. Okay. Please be careful. Thank you so much for watching this warning to the world.
Well, see, I think that's the thing. Like,
oh, and if my Twitter reaches 1,000 followers before the next video,
what the hell was? Okay, I won't be showing that anyway. We'll not be showing that anyway. Okay, this is interesting. For me, like, I don't I don't get really involved with the Genshin community outside of like the videos. Like, but I do know the power of the Genshin community is actually pretty freaking crazy, because like I've seen it with like whether it be my Patreon or whether it be like people giving me gems, like you guys are very dedicated to like what you love about Genshin. For me, like my perspective on that whole thing is like, don't fall for rumors ever. There's rumors happen every day on video games. You shouldn't fall for them. I know it's hard because it's like you want to believe the rumors and sometimes it makes it nice to believe the rumors. But you'll just be disappointed in the end. There's plenty of times like another great example is like professional wrestling, where so many times I've watched professional wrestling and like people have been like, man, like this wrestler was supposed to show up tonight. It's like, oh, where'd you hear that? It was a rumor on Twitter. And you're like, dude, never believe anything unless you get it from the horse's mouth. That's the way I always see it. I see Bloodborne rumors every single day. I do not believe it until I get to Bloodborne itself. Thank you so much for sending in, Malcolm, though. Like, I didn't know that was actually a thing there. I will cut out the thing at the end. Just a heads up. There was an image that wasn't very graphic, but you know. Thank you so much, Malcolm Kunde. The next video is sent in by Dodo Dan. Actually, before we go on, to talk more about this Google Classroom thing, because I feel like one thing that is kind of crazy to me is the idea that like the other people who like the other apps are like, I'm gonna take down Genshin then and review bomb it, and it's like that's what they want. That's what the Genshin fans wanted. And can you guys tell me if you were playing back then, what was your reaction to it back then? What was your reaction? How did you feel back then? What was your take on it? Because I actually want to hear your thoughts on that. The next video is sent in by Dota Dan, and it is Hollow Knight's backstory explained in under 4 minutes. That sounds really exciting, actually. Let's check it out. So this is spoilers for Hollow Knight ahead.
Hollow Knight is a game about a bug in chains and an egg in a temple in a cave in a wetland town in a kingdom in the mines of men in Australia. A long time ago, there were bugs that lived deep underground who worshipped a black fluid that's alive called the Void. They all died. Much later, there was a civilization of moths ruled by a big orange moth god called the Radiance. The Radiance controlled bugs from a hive mind. Then a shiny worm came along and told everyone that hive minds were dumb. He gave all bugs intelligence, and he was so shiny and cool that even the moths were like, hey, screw you, Radiance, and forgot about them. He shed his giant worm body, was reborn as a bug-sized bug, founded the kingdom of Hallownest, and was known as the Pale King. Mantises were already intelligent and didn't really care about the Pale King. He agreed not to mess with them as long as they kept Deep Nest under control. The bugs in Deep Nest were so brainless they stayed that way.
Oh no, keep going.
Bugs, even under the
I was gonna pause and talk there for a second, but no.
The bugs in Green Path worshipped a slug named Un.
So the Mantis lords are freaking sick. By the way, one of my favorite points in the whole game. They kept Deep Nest under control because they wouldn't let anything out or in, right? The Mantises keep Deep Nest at bay.
Kingdom of Hallownest, but kept thinking Un was a cool guy. Mushrooms, yes I know mushrooms aren't bugs, welcomed the Pale King's rule because he could see the future apparently. The Pale King set up shop in the White Palace and had 5 great nights and a whole ton of cool stuff happened. Then someone saw a statue of the Radiance and started dreaming about them. Through the dreams of bugs, the Radiance started to regain the hive mind and pull more bugs into mindlessness again. The Pale King said, oh damn, and tried to find a solution. The solution he came up with is a little convoluted. Since the Radiance spread through the dreams and minds of bugs, he figured that if he made a bug with absolutely no thoughts or
so when I'm playing Hollow Knight, the Radiance is the thing that then is turning like all these characters I love dearly into like mindless people again as the game is going forward. See, I kind of knew like the general outline is, but it's also really cool to see this like to have stuff confirmed and stuff I didn't even know either.
The Radiance inside. He experimented with the Void and figured that the best way to solve the problem was to make a living being that was part Void and part bug. With the help of his wife, the Tree Lady, he made 1 million Void babies, trying to find the perfect one that was completely hollow to trap the Radiance inside. There were a ridiculous amount of failures, and he threw them all in a
we were there.
Abyss. Eventually, he thought he had succeeded. He named his child the Hollow Knight and trapped the Radiance inside of his empty mind. For good measure, he chained the Hollow Knight up in the Black Egg. The Black Egg was sealed by 3 Dreamers, prolific bugs
easy boss battles
of Hallownest who sacrificed the rest of their lives to guard the Hollow Knight to keep the Radiance at bay. The 3 Dreamers were Lurian, Monomon, and Hera. Lurian the Watcher was a
sick scene.
enthusiast
So sick.
who lived in the City of Tears. He was a big fan of the Pale King and didn't need much convincing. Monomon was a jellyfish who was so keen on the seals that they gave their mask to their apprentice Quirrell. Thus, Monomon's seal could only be broken by a bug who was cool enough to impress this guy. Hera the Beast was the Queen of Deepness and was such a freak that she agreed to become a seal as long as the Pale King would have a child with her. She knew that since worms are basically gods, her kids would be an absolute bloody legend, and so Hallownest's Princess Hornet was born. The Hollow Knight
so this is again stuff that like I love this game dearly, but I like this is the stuff I kind of like miss sometimes entirely.
A bay for a while, but eventually they started to get out anyway. It turned out that he wasn't really hollow at all. He had one idea in his empty head, and ironically that idea was to press his father by being truly hollow. He just loved his dad, but the Radiance was like... The Pale King said screw and peaced out by moving his entire palace into the mind of one of his guards, who still lies dreaming in the ancient basin to this day.
The lore is so
died,
sick.
Probably from Void. Everyone else in Hallownest was like, oh damn, and went back to being brainless, orange-eyed, hive-mind bugs. The few bugs who did manage to keep their intelligence called this phenomenon the infection and steered clear of infected bugs. Deep Nest didn't really change much. The Mantises didn't get infected because they were too cool. Except some of them were so cool they got infected on purpose just to get more buff.
So that was what the Traitor Lord is.
Spends her time protecting what's left of Hallownest and guarding the King's brand, a brand that would allow a bug to be recognized as the new king and uncover the kingdom's secrets and possibly break the seals. Meanwhile, some of the Pale King's Void babies, they're actually called vessels,
Void baby sounds cooler though.
A giant pit. Some of them make it pretty far, and at least one of them makes it all the way out of Hallownest.
That's us?
A long time later, one such vessel wanders back into Hallownest and starts messing around.
Oh my god, that's actually sick.
What happens
this is a beautiful
game.
This is a beautiful game. I'm making a video very soon, actually.
Guys, check out my new favorite channel. It
Wait.
is so good. Oh my god.
Hold on a second.
Look at it.
Is that your channel, Cardboard Head? This guy has less subs than me, and it's like I think it's like way better stuff than I've ever made. That's a joke, but it was really fantastic. I do think that it's really good. Yeah, the stuff with like Mila, for example, that's like where it hits me hardest, because it's like, yeah, that's definitely stuff that happened with that. And that was a really great video, because like again, there's stuff that I didn't even realize with this. What I will say though as well is that if I want to talk to you, first of all, the lore is unbelievably cool of Hollow Knight. I want to talk to Hollow Knight fans, because I adore the Hollow Knight fan base. Towards the end, a few of them got very rude because they were like so passionate about me like doing something in the game. But if I can like use your video, Dododan, if that's okay with you, to like springboard on this and say that legit, and I'll be making a video talking about this soon. Legit, I could not beat the true final boss. I tried. I did White Palace. You saw that video. I made White Palace video a long time ago. I could not beat the final boss, and I hit the mic. Because I sit when I'm doing the reactor. I sit like crouched like L from Death Note. L, isn't it? L. I couldn't beat it. I could not beat it, and it upset me because like I love Hollow Knight, and I'm really excited for Silk Song. But I feel like it tainted the ending of my playthrough for a lot of people, and like it to me, like when I look back on playthroughs, I think of like the playthroughs that define the channel, and I feel like it was so close to like defining the channel, being one of those playthroughs to define the channel. And for some people it did. Some people are like, I love this, but I think towards the end, just because of how like awkward the ending was, because like there was a little bit of a pushback from people. The majority of people were like, no, it's fine. If you can't beat it, you can't beat it. But there was a little bit of a pushback from people. That I really felt like it's not as remembered. Like it was to me, it's one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. But I will be making a video on it soon talking about Hollow Knight. But I will just say that it is like, to me, like, look at the lore here, is an incredible game that I really want to get more into at some point. But I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat the final boss, and we'll talk about that final boss more as we go in that video I'm going to make. But now, as for now, I want to watch the next video by Cosmic Catloaf. Thank you for sending the Dota down. The next video is by Cosmic Catloaf, and it's a Robin Trader, Sway to My Beat. I will sway to your beat. Oh, we have a star. We have a star. Man, I could never do that. Like, oh. So it's such a beautiful singing. So it actually is a big fan. There's fans of this girl. Oh wow, the old Marilyn Monroe trick. Oh wow. Oh, there's something deep. There's something deeper. There's something deeper. Oh, is there a feeling of like, yes, I have all this fame, I have all this attention, but do I feel trapped within it? This is beautiful. This is different from any vibe I've ever seen in Hokai so far. Yeah, it's really pretty. I can't, like, again, look, even the city, I cannot wait to get into Honkai Star Rail. Oh, this is a great trailer, because I feel like it gets across so much with this character so far already. But there's like a tinge of something deeper going on here, isn't there? Oh, wow. It's actually super impressive. Oh, that was good. That was good. It's beautiful. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. Everything I've seen from Honkai Star Rail has been something I want to get into. And here we have again, kind of like that tinge of what's happening underneath. Honkai Star Rail. On PS5. Wait, is it a PS5? It's not on PS4? Is it exclusive to PS5? I wonder. I don't know. Like I think that the style of these games, the actual characters themselves are so interesting. It actually makes me want to like get more into the game. We will be getting more into the game eventually. We will be. But I'm so happy for you guys to send this stuff into me, because like to me, like what Roma Reacts is like it's you showing off what you guys are into, and then like me seeing what you guys are more into, and then actually it's really, really nice to see that type of stuff. Especially with this stuff, like, cause I wouldn't know anything about Honkai Star Rail at all. Now, the last video sent in, thank you so much, Cosmic, for sending in, Cosmic Catlove, otherwise known as Scaramouche. Thank you so much for sending in. And the next video is the last video, which is actually like a really cool idea. It was a joint submission from Azordak and Lian, and it is the Water Domains, a Genshin Impact theory. Let's check this out. Oh,
domains. You know, those places we hop
beautiful
into
voice,
every day.
By the way. Wish I had a voice that was like butter to listen to like that. It's so nice.
To beat up a predictable round of monsters so we can slap some resin on a petrified tree to satisfy our min-maxing gambling addictions. Yeah, you know the ones. Now, their purpose from a gameplay perspective is pretty straightforward. But have you ever wondered what they are? Where they came from, or why?
No, I actually
exist
haven't, which is
in the
what
world
this
of
video is not going to make me think.
I mean, just look at these
Yep.
spaces.
Yep.
They're
And some of them are gorgeous.
Ruined towers amidst a sea of violet storms, an underground cave system with crumbling altars, a gorge surrounded by enormous waterfalls. These spaces are massive. But where is this space? Where do we go when we pass through those big stone doors? What exactly is a domain? Now, before we start, let me just say that I would like to distinguish between two different types of domains, plus a potential
I do also
third.
love the presentation of this as well. That it's very simplistic, but at the same time, like they're like, you know, doing a very cinematic approach to the movement of their character as well.
Domains we'll be talking about today are the challenge domains, not the exploration domains, and not the domains created by the Adepti. While I do think they're related, there's enough to talk about that I'd like to save that for another video. So, like I was saying, what is a domain? The loading screen has this to say. It is said that glorious civilizations once covered every corner of the land, above and below ground, in days of yore. Those once glorious civilizations have long perished, and all that remains of them today is the cities and altars they built deep underground. Altars they built deep underground, huh? And a once glorious civilization. Now, where have I heard this before? Ah, yes, from the description of the Spiral Abyss. A massive underground city constructed by an ancient civilization long gone. To this day, the purpose of this underground city
So we have no idea
remains
why
unknown.
it was there.
So the Spiral Abyss and Domain share a very similar description. Well, that makes sense. Both of them are portals to spaces that look quite similar, so it stands to reason that they'd be connected somehow. But there are other places that share this description. And I want to talk about one in particular. Conria. Albedo's fifth story gives us our first straightforward mention of Conria, outside of the context of the Cataclysm 500 years ago. This excerpt reads, Conria was an underground realm, and its natural fauna were few indeed. As such, its alchemy focused more heavily on the creation of life. This art of creation was known as the art of chemia. The only living being we know of that is 100% confirmed to be made with chemia is Durin. Outside of the Dragonspine event that took place in version 1.2, Durin's tale is also told through the Skyward Weapon series. Reading through that weapon series brought me to this line. Even the vile dragon born from sin in the ancient kingdom of the abyss lost its wings to this proud servant of Animo. This kingdom of the abyss is most likely referring to Conria. As we know, Conria is where Durin was created, as it was the only place Chemia was practiced. Are you with me so far?
I'll be honest, not entirely. I'll be honest, maybe I'm dumb. I don't know. I'm not entirely with you so far, but like I do get like the vibe, not the vibe, the through line you're going on, but like I still think there's gonna be stuff I'm gonna be confused by. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, then let's recap really quick. Domains, the Spiral Abyss, and Conria are all described as being deep underground. Conria is further mentioned as being a kingdom of the abyss, which is also the namesake of the Spiral Abyss. It's a loose connection at best, but let's take a moment to talk about Chemia and why I think it's the true link between Domains, the Spiral Abyss, Conria, and the Abyss.
Okay, so again, like, there's clearly, like, a lot of connections being made here that I didn't pick up on. Like, of course there is. And I'm sorry for sitting here quietly for a bit. I'm just really trying to, like, focus in on some of the stuff that they're saying. But I'm sure by the end of this, I'm probably going to feel a lot dumber. Or smarter, I guess. It's going to make me feel dumb before, but, like, smart. I don't mean to make it seem like they're not going to explain it well, I guess. Sorry about that. Like, you know, I didn't mean to say it like that.
Form of alchemy developed in Conria. While much of its processes appear to be the same as regular alchemy, Chemia was different in that it was able to produce life. This is illustrated for us when Albedo demonstrates the art of Chemia by making a small branch sprout leaves on command.
That was pretty sick.
Him in Dragonspine, and in one of his idle animations. Creating life would have been a necessity for the people of Conria, because without abundant flora and fauna, it would be difficult to feed their population. This life-giving practice doesn't involve elemental magic, and doesn't require a vision to perform. Chemia and alchemy both draw on another sort of transmutable power, one that was abundant within the barren landscape of Conria.
Actually, perfect. Pause here. This ad is crazy to me, by the way, this AFK Journey ad. The gods will be our friends. I'm a god, you're a god. I don't know what it is. I never, like, I don't know, like, they're everywhere. They're, like, and here's the thing, I'm sure it's a great game. They're everywhere. But yeah, actually, perfect pausing time. So the power that, like, Albedo has is also power that was used as a way to, like, feed people more, because it was able to develop flowers and stuff like that. Does that, when we're crafting materials, that's a completely different thing, right? Because sometimes I create stuff like where I'm like, how did that come from that? That's just a different, that's alchemy though, right? I guess that is alchemy, like what he's using, right? Maybe? I don't know.
This power was likely the power of the ley lines that stretched out from the roots of the Irminsul trees. Yes, the same trees as those we find within domains. These trees grow underground, with roots that stretch down into the abyss and to the ley lines across the world, revealing themselves above ground as ley line blossoms.
See, I knew that ley lines were being pushed up through the surface, and that's how they became to be. But, like, I don't know why I just, like, didn't, like, make the visual connection of, like, the trees underground, you know, growing up and then becoming ley lines from, like, that. That makes much more sense, you know?
It might seem like a leap, but let's take a look at some in-game evidence to back this up. Specifically, let's look at
cool
Abyss
sword.
Mages, who we now know of as the corrupted people of Conria. I mentioned before that Conria did not have access to visions, and yet Abyss Mages can perform.
So we learned
elemental
before
magics.
that the Abyss Mages and the Hilly Churls were actually all people beforehand. We learned this thing. And it makes, like, killing, like, obviously, like it's a game, so you still have to kill the Hilly Churls, but there's still some aspect of it that, like, makes it feel kind of a little bit more solemn sometimes. But then Abyss Mages annoy me sometimes too, and it's, like, hard to get back into that mode.
They are unlikely to have delusions either, since those are very recent inventions and would suggest that the Fatui and the Abyss Order are working together, and we know that's not the case. So if Abyss Mages were human and lack both visions and delusions, then how do they tap into elemental powers? The answer is simple. They carry ley line branches. Yes, the same ones that they drop when we defeat one in-game. They're the only enemy in the game that has them, and if I had to hazard a guess,
wait, legit?
I will argue that the Abyss Heralds and Lectors will end up dropping.
Why did I not like put 2 and 2 together with that before? They carried like
a variation of them as well, as I believe the use of leyline branches to perform elemental magic may in fact be an extension.
So they're using actual the ley lines from the earth.
Chemia, although the latter there is a little speculation. According to the items in-game descriptions, they are pulsating with energy no matter how dead the branch. That could allow them to function as a sort of portable battery from which the Abyss Mages can draw power that they then cast as elemental magic. Now, the only non-antagonistic character we know of that practices Chemia currently is Albedo, and he's very fixated on Dragonspine in particular. This may not be a coincidence, since the history of the city of Solvindignir talks of a silver tree that may be connected to the Irminsul trees. But there's also evidence to suggest that the people of Solvindignir sought the power and guidance of the Irminsul trees from beneath the ground. Guidance might sound like a weird thing to get from a tree, but the tree itself is connected to the ley lines, and the ley lines are known to contain the history and memories of everything that has
and like
ever
I think
been.
that's not crazy, because like the trees in the game thus far have been super effective in like whether it be boosting our powers or like giving us rewards. Like they have been very like spiritual in that sense. I really feel like that kind of makes sense.
To seek wisdom from the Irminsul is to draw upon the memories that are flowing through the ley lines. The people of Solvindignir seem to be aware of this to some extent, as illustrated in the Tiara artifact sets. This is an excerpt from the artifact Prayers for Illumination. Once upon a time, the people of the land could hear revelations from the heavens directly. The envoys of the gods walked among benighted humanity then. The eternal ice had just begun to thaw, and the first fires were still new. It was a time of great prosperity, when all was left in the hands of such heavenly revelations. The envoys of heaven said that the world would soon enter a new and brighter age. This was predestined, the future immutable. But would a day come when such wonderful times might come to an end? To this question, the envoys gave no answer. So the people chose from among them a chief priest, and adorning his head with a crown of white branches, they sent
like
him
the ley
out
lines?
into the deep places of the world, to antediluvian ruins and long-buried altars of sacrifice, to seek answers and enlightenment.
So that's a crown of a ley line?
Now, these tiaras were made from the branches of Dragonspine's ancient silver tree, and crowned the head of the priest, who they sent into the deepest places of the world, where there were great ruins and sacrificial altars. That sounds just like a domain now, doesn't it? Especially since a priest would likely visit an altar to pray to the Irminsul for a blessing, which is exactly what we do when we gift the petrified trees with resin and receive artifacts as blessings in return.
Right now, children in Gaza worry about when they'll eat next. Hunger doesn't
I feel
stop in
really
their world,
weird skipping
but
this
we-
ad, of course, like, but obviously like the channel will get striked with this stuff as well. Yeah, not striked, but like it's a completely different thing.
Can make a difference to
it would get blocked and things like that. Yeah, so far, like what I can ascertain from this, and maybe I'm freaking like just like off the mark, because like I'll be honest, I'm not totally like there with all the theory, because there's a lot of it. But the most interesting part so far that I found is that like that the ley lines were the way that our people in Conria got their, not their vision, but their way of like using elemental magic, which does make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's what I'm like, again, like a lot of it's like I'm a little bit confused.
But each of these tiaras tell the same story, but with slight alterations. Here's an excerpt from the artifact for Prayers for Wisdom. They say that once upon a time, the people of the land could hear revelations from the heavens directly. Then the envoys of the gods would walk among benighted humanity, and the waters ran dry as thunder first pierced the skies. People enjoyed untold wisdom, and that wisdom was their boon. Their prosperity brought pride and ambition, and the mind to question. So they questioned the heavens' authority and schemed to enter the garden of the gods. And though they had promised to the people divine love, prosperity, and wisdom, the envoys of heaven were angry. For to question eternity was forbidden, for earth to challenge sky.
So this was something that, this is a common theme in Genshin, right? The idea of like people questioning the gods and people fighting against the gods. Like, and it's become more normalized now because it's like now you won't be like murdered for it, but like I can only imagine like what it does that play into what we were doing at the start of the game with our sister against that god.
So the chief priest who wore the white branched crown went forth to appease the divine envoys, and into the deep places he went, seeking the hidden wisdom of the silver tree in the ancient capital. An ancient underground capital sounds a little less like a domain and a little more like Conria, doesn't it? But it can't be talking about Conria, because we have a record from the scribe of Solvindignir that writes, "I've heard of people who are building a new nation without gods. Perhaps they'll have the power to stand."
Okay, so the idea that like, okay, they're doing it, they're doing something, so maybe they will learn how to stand on their own 2 feet, and like obviously not the same as the way Liyue is doing it, but like maybe they will be able the ones that be able to do this, like the thing that we've wanted to do for a while.
Conria is confirmed to be the only known nation without gods, and therefore it would have been a new civilization during the time of Solvindignir. So what was the ancient capital that the priests were visiting? Could there have been multiple abyssal civilizations and Conria was just one of them? That seems likely. Perhaps they sought to use the Irminsul to replace the voices of the gods that had forsaken them, as other civilizations may have done before them, while Conria instead used them to form the basis of Chemia. Such a powerful tree would be in extremely high regard, perhaps to the point of worship. Given how the trees appear within altar-like spaces within these domains,
so the worshipping of trees. Do you think also as well that there's like an aspect of like if you're not going to worship the gods, like wouldn't worshiping nature be like the next thing anyway? Like that would be like, it's like if you're like, not saying that like you need to worship something, but like for me, like I would say that like, you know, like whenever like it's someone like, oh, do you believe in God? It's like, well, I believe in people and I believe in the earth and I believe in like, you know, grass and the sun and things like this. You know what I mean? Like, and I wonder if that is like something like, because I feel like no matter what, every single like nation, if Christianity never existed, if Islam never existed, if Judaism never existed, if Buddhism never existed, they would find something. You know, people worshipped the sun, people worshipped cats, people worshipped, you know, everything. Like they will find some, because there's always like something, like it's almost like a need for a higher power almost. And worshiping the trees, I feel like is just a replacement for higher power.
Curious thing I stumbled upon during my research. Now you see these rings hovering above the tree?
Okay.
There are always 5 of them.
Yashkas?
And I couldn't figure out why until I came across this passage within the Gnostic text, the Apocrypha according to John. The passage reads, Yaldabaoth created 12 archons, giving each a bit of his power. And he placed 7 kings, each corresponding to the firmaments of heaven, over the 7 heavens, and 5 over the depth of the abyss, that they may reign. 5 in the abyss, 5 rings above a sacred tree within the abyss. This cannot be a coincidence. Besides, 7 archons to rule 7 heavens? When there are 7 archons ruling 7 regions in Tevat? well, maybe not heavens, but if Conria and the Abyss are far below Tevat, perhaps they are considered a part of the Abyss's heavens. Anyway, just a fun
You saying
little
anyway?
detail I picked
You saying
up on.
anyway when dropping a
It's
bomb?
Too early to draw any real conclusions about potentially 5 more Archons, but that would certainly make for an interesting twist.
And also, you could
Now,
you know, extend the game a bit longer.
And one other thing. Remember Hu
I
Tao's
do.
story quest? If you haven't played through it, you might want to, because it tells us something about the cycle of death in Tevat. That all souls return not to Celestia, but to the earth.
Purina!
You know what makes them run. Purina
Okay, we're gonna mute this. Just again, like. By the way, I'm never upset about YouTubers having ads because like, the least I can do for watching under someone else's video is, oh, Mad Max. Is, you know, watch their ads. You know, when I'm using their videos.
Not at random, but through a domain. Given what we've established thus far, I would like to suggest that the souls of the dead pass through domains in order to reach the Abyss, in order to return to the Irminsul tree, where they will be reintegrated into the leyline network. After all, ley lines contain the memory of all things. That probably includes people. Such a power seems far more godlike than those of visions and gnosis. Perhaps that power is what Dainsleif protects as the Bowkeeper. Perhaps that is the true nature of the Abyss, and the truth of this world that Conria understood, and the reason why they challenged the rule of the Archons and Celestia. Perhaps that's what's depicted in the Domain mural. A figure
Oh, I didn't even notice
ascending a
this.
ladder from the earth, watched over by the sustainer of heavenly principles, and ascending
Wait.
beyond the reach of the moons
Hold
and
up a
into
second
the
there.
true heavens.
Like on our arm? Is that what you're saying? It's the same thing on her arm?
Principles.
Oh,
And
no,
ascending-
it's like on the, it's above her. Oh, is that what they're saying? Not on her arm, it's above her. The same kind of like spiral shapes, I guess?
Beyond the reach of the moons and into the true heavens beyond the grasp of Celestia. And the domains themselves? Mere doorways into snapshots of civilizations
Okay, that's an interesting way of
once
looking at it.
lost in the abyss. Some may lead to Conria, some to civilizations we'll never know the names of, held in place only by the power left within the young Irminsul housed there. We may offer them sustenance in the form of resin, and they gift us with memories of a time long past, perhaps carrying the hopes of the restoration and
Fact.
freedom of the abyss.
I say
along
fact,
with
but
them.
like, I just like the theory.
Now, before I end this video, I would like to leave you with a little passage that I stumbled upon
Okay,
while doing my
she's done a lot of
out-of-date
research here, and like I'm gonna try and piece through a lot, like a bit of what I understand from it, and then like my take on it, I suppose. But yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff I'm still confused by.
It reads, "The earth is not the abyss, but our descent into the abyss begins here on earth. It all depends on what we do. We have the ego, so we have our own abyss, which is none other than the special place in us where our ego gravitates to and resides in. The ego cannot reside in our heavens, but in our abyss. We have no other option but to work on ourselves and remove the inhabitants from our abyss, leaving it clear, clean, and illuminated by the light of our consciousness. Perhaps it's
Hold on a
finally
second.
time
Sorry.
of our consciousness.
So this is like the ego cannot reside in our heavens, but in our abyss. I know she's gonna explain what she thinks about this. Is she saying like they're saying that like our ego, like, always goes towards the heaven when really like our ego. If we remove the idea of the gods, is that what I'm saying? If we remove the idea of the gods from our ego, and our ego is not in the heavens, it's in the abyss, then we should, if we leave it clear, it will also clear our conscious. Is that what they're saying? Like a clear.
clear, clean, and illuminated by the light of our consciousness. Perhaps it's finally time for the people of Tevat and the Archons and Celestia to return.
Or it's saying that, like, we should return to the Abyss.
Let me know what you think.
That being above here is like not something that's going to clear ourselves or make our lights or make our ego.
Or do you have your own theories?
Well, I'm still confused. Thank you so much for the video, but I'm still very confused.
Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time.
No, it was a really good video, by the way. Like, she's really well spoken and she's really well explained things. But I think the thing that's kind of crazy about this is that, like, I, like, as a maybe someone who still doesn't, like, know all the facts or maybe hasn't been into the lore as much as other people have been for as long of a time, still has, like, a lot of questions. But what I'm interpreting from this is that the people of Conria, whereas where we came from, like, their civilization or their ancient civilization is below the ground in those domains, and that's what we're seeing, because it does make sense, like, that's what we're seeing. Those people didn't worship the gods, but they might have worshipped things like the trees or the nature that gave them life or to give them powers. It was really cool seeing the fact that, like, I didn't even know, like, that the Abyss mages had, like, ley line branches, and that's probably what gave them their, like, magic and things like that. And it's always good to be reminded as well that the Abyss mages are people from Conria. I wonder if, like, from my perspective, I wonder if, like, the domains themselves are, like I like the idea of a snapshot of, like, the civilization's past. But I wonder, is Conria a good example of everyone? Because what's happening every time we go to every nation is that the Archons take a step back. So I wonder, and they're showing that Archons might not be the best thing for the world anymore. So I wonder if that's what they're trying to show us, is that, like, Conria is kind of an example of, like, what it's like without the gods as well. I don't know, we'll see. Thank you so much for Rome Reacts this week, guys. Thank you so much for sending all these videos. There was less videos than before, but I feel like we paused a lot as well for these videos. Thank you so much to TieFirer2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, Normal Cara, The Ghost of Nazuma, Felicious Felix, George Candelaria, Escud, Yule, Radish, Fruity, Orange Bank, Summer Races, Death Trap, Anusta, Ciabatta Bread, and Malcolm Kunde. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.